Hello, this is Gay Knuff at ETM SolarWorks, and this is a short presentation about how to read your electric bill when you have a solar electric system, to understand what you're importing and exporting and how much electricity you've used. In New York, we are allowed to do net metering. What this means specifically for us is that from one month to the next, you get a credit for any excess kilowatt hours your solar electric system generates, and you can use those credits in future bills. So that is what happens from month to month, and that means that you are getting the retail credit for those kilowatt hours, and the retail credit is the delivery plus generation cost on your bill. Now, at the end of the billing year, and the billing year ends when you're at the 1 year anniversary of your system turn on, if there's still credit on your bill, the utility will give you a check for the difference, or they will credit you dollars to the following year. However, that credit is only at the avoided cost rate. The avoided cost rate is kind of like the wholesale rate for electricity. So that's what happens at the end of the billing year. You may choose to adjust your billing year beginning and end by calling the utility and asking them to change the date. And a good time to choose for the beginning and end of the billing year is April, and that's because you tend to accumulate credit in the sunny months and in the fall, and you tend to use it all up in the winter. So by the time spring rolls around, you've probably used up all the kilowatt hour credits, and there will be little to nothing left to credit to the next year, which is good because you're getting the retail credit from month to month, and you're only getting the wholesale credit to the following year. A grid-connected solar electric system consists of your solar panels, inverters, and wiring, and it's a very simple system. So basically, the inverter converts the direct current out of the solar panels into alternating current at 240 volts and feeds your main circuit box. It will not operate when the utility power is down because you're not allowed to backfeed the grid if someone is out there working on it. You could opt to add a battery backup system at some point to allow for having electricity when the grid is down, or you can add a generator. So here is what an electric bill looks like when you have a solar electric system. There are basically two readings that they will take, and the meter has two different registers to show these numbers. Okay, so the first number on the top here is any electricity that you purchased from the utility, and the second line is any electricity you exported or sold to the utility. If the amount exported is greater than the amount imported, then obviously you're going to get a credit to the following month. The basic service charge is a fixed fee that is not affected by the import and export of kilowatt hours. It is essentially the cost of maintaining the wires. You could think of it like the cost of maintaining the roads. On this particular bill, I imported 311 kilowatt hours but only exported 124, and I also have some accumulated credits from prior months, which you can see on the lines below that. So even though I imported more than I exported, I was still able to use some of the credits from prior months to essentially pay this bill, and so I only got charged for the basic service charge. Again, at the end of the billing year, you will see if you have excess credit still left, you will then get a credit in dollars instead of kilowatt hours to the following year. Now, if you have enough excess, you might be able to actually offset some of the basic service charge fee. So we have a few customers that literally paid zero. They were able to offset all their kilowatt hours and had enough extra to offset the basic service charge also. So the utility bill will tell you what you imported and exported, but it does not tell you how much you generated and used. In order to know that, you have to look at your total monthly solar production, which you can see by either reading the kilowatt hour reading from the LCD screen on the inverter or the data logger in the case of the Enphase inverters. So to figure out how much electricity you used, you take your solar electricity generated for that month plus the electricity purchased from the utility minus electricity exported to the utility, and that will tell you how much electricity you used. Now, for an accurate calculation, read the solar electricity total from the inverter or LCD on the data logger. Read that number on the same date as the utility readings. If you are reading the kilowatt hour production on the LCD screen on the inverter or the data logger, that is the cumulative kilowatt hours, and you have to take this month's reading and subtract last month's reading to get the monthly production. Alternatively, if you are uploading to the internet, you can go to the inverter's website and look at the monthly production in a table or graph. So that saves you a little math. So sit back and enjoy the power of the sun. If you have further questions or need service for your system, feel free to give us a call here at ETM SolarWorks.